A new Wordle puzzle is online. Click on the link to play.
Listening to the following video may give you clues. Please like and share the videos.
Grace and Frankie recap. Death and New Beginnings by Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton is the best-selling author of over 6 million books, including 16 biggest hits and Run, Rose, Run.
Her latest memoir, Grace and Frankie, Death and New Beginnings, is a must-read for fans of classic country music. This Grace and Frankie recap will help you keep up with the show and learn more about the life of the legendary singer.
Dolly Parton's 16 biggest hits. Netflix has revealed the final episodes of Grace and Frankie, and we can't wait to see Dolly Parton in them. The country music legend's life and work is captured in Here I Am, a documentary directed by Francis Whit Lee, who also directed David Bowie, Finding Fame.
The film highlights Parton's 16 biggest hits, which frame her story. We hear from famous friends and not-so-famous backing musicians as they elucidate on her life and legacy.
Dolly Parton's greatest hits include Jolene and Big Dreams. The singer shared a touching tribute to the Ukraine on her talk show, and performed her hit singles Jolene with Kelsey Ballerini.
She also presented the Entertainer of the Year award to Miranda Lambert, who accepted it via Video along with her best-selling albums. Dolly Parton has been a part of several films.
She starred alongside Tomlin and Fonda in 9 to 5 and appeared alongside Marsha Mason in Grace and Frankie. Many of the show's guest stars have included the great singer.
Grace and Frankie recap Dolly Parton's 16 biggest hits. After the release of her latest album, Run, Rose, Run, Dolly Parton's career has seen a revival in the media.
She has been featured on TED Talks and in The Tennessean. Her newest single, Girl Cried, has gone platinum in the online retail charts.
She has teamed up with Sylvester Stallone to produce the movie Rhinestone, which was a commercial and critical flop. In addition to her pop career, Dolly also recorded a number of rock songs, including Bootstraps in the Sky at Last and Close to Home.
The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame considered her one of the best-selling country artists of all time, and if she's nominated, she'll have another chance to be inducted. Despite her rejection, Dolly remains a beloved icon for millions of fans all over the world.
Run, Rose, Run slipped one spot to No. 44 on the Billboard Country Albums chart, but re-enters the top 50 on the current albums list in the UK
and Scotland. Meanwhile, the real Dolly Parton re-entries the top 50 country album chart at No.
79. In the UK, Run, Rose, Run slips one spot to No.
66. Dolly Parton's Run, Rose, Run.
The new Dolly Parton book is set in Nashville and explores the haunting past of young Rose. The book was so popular that it debuted at number 1 on the New York Times bestsellers list and inspired the release of a 12-track album.
It was so well received that Dolly Parton decided to adapt it into a movie. The result is a captivating read that will leave you humming the title track.
The audiobook adaptation of the new novel will be narrated by East Tennessee native Kelsey Ballerini, who will play a protege of Rough and a Rider. The two celebrities met on the Good Morning America show, where Parton praised Patterson's skill at building characters and said she recognized herself in the storyline.
The book is available at Amazon. The plot is fast-paced and is a rags-to-riches story.
There are suspenseful moments and mystery elements throughout the story. The ending is swift and well-written, and the narration is superb.
It's a pleasure to listen to this book. I can't recommend it enough.
The book is well worth the price. And if you enjoy listening to Dolly Parton's voice, you'll love Run, Rose, Death and New Beginnings.
Dolly Parton has a long and illustrious career. She first broke through the barriers of the country music industry with the debut of her self-titled album in the mid-1970s.
She is one of the best-selling singers in history. A Holly Dolly Christmas, the follow-up to her previous hit Run, Rose, Death and New Beginnings, was released the same year.
In addition to co-writing this book with James Patterson, the singer is also preparing for a new album, Run, Rose, Run. The novel tells the story of an aspiring country singer, Annie Lee, who moves to Nashville, Tennessee, with the help of charismatic country star Ruth Anna.
The book was also recently announced as a movie starring Reese Witherspoon, Dolly Parton's Fake Funeral Day.
On the latest episode of Grace and Frankie, The two country stars recap Dolly Parton's fake funeral and share what really happened. Grace was upset because she didn't believe her dying date.
Frankie, meanwhile, was afraid she was going to get sick and she wouldn't be able to do anything. Her last appearance was ruined by an ill Frankie.
When the show began, the two were facing the end of their marriages and leaning on one another for comfort. Despite the fake funeral, both were depressed and Frankie was moping about living in the shadow of the skinny alcoholic.
The two haven't spoken since their argument about Frankie's attendance at a vital meeting. It's unclear how much longer their relationship will last.
Dolly Parton had been trying for years to appear on Grace and Frankie, but it wasn't until last year that she finally landed the gig. The comedy series, which stars Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin, debuted to mixed reviews in May 2015 and later received positive reviews.
Now, part of the show's stardom has been restored with the addition of Dolly Parton's episode also features a flashback of Dolly Parton's fake funeral day.
As the show was nearing its end, viewers had a chance to catch up on the last episodes of Grace and Frankie. What a sappy ending. The show will end on a happy note, but viewers are not quite ready for the show to end.
So sit back and enjoy this final season of Grace and Frankie, Dolly Parton's book.
This week on Dolly Parton's Grace and Frankie Recap, we will learn about the love story between Grace and her ex-husband. This unlikely couple had been secretly involved for several years and bonded over the years through unsaid connection and emotional bonding.
The two shattered cultural norms by being openly gay, and it's no wonder they fell in love. Throughout the story, Grace and Frankie try to fix their relationship, and when the two realize that they belong together, they try to work through their differences.
Frankie's relationship with his sister is also challenged, but their bond grows stronger as the story progresses. Grace is a strong woman, and she believes that she can trust him without hesitation.
Unlike the movie Grace and Frankie, this story focuses on a newly outed gay man. The film uses the gay culture of today as a vehicle for exploring the issues of acceptance, love, and hate in the United States.
Both Tomlin and Fonda have been married 3 times and are both openly gay, which further demonstrates that they don't share the same values as other women. While Frankie's funeral was a success, the movie did not make him feel good.
Frankie's depressed state was revealed in the eulogy, which featured anecdotes about Grace. The story also shows that Grace and Frankie haven't spoken since a disagreement over a toilet.